I'm going to be reviewing the movie Dear John, and clearly I'm a teenage girl, and I like to spend my free time curled up in my bed watching sappy chick flicks, and I'll admit sometimes I do eat ice cream and cry. But I think that Dear John has many components that make it a really good movie whether you're a boy or a girl. And I've seen a lot of chick flicks in my 17 years, so I think I know a little bit about what makes it good. So now we'll talk about those things. And the first thing is the storyline. Dear John's storyline is, I think it's really good. John and Savannah, they meet after she drops her purse in the beach, in the water on the beach, and John goes and gets it. And then they form a really good relationship after that, and they they become a couple really quickly. And John is a soldier, so he does have to go back to the service, and Savannah's on spring break, so she has to go back to college. But they promise that they're going to stay together and they're going to see each other whenever they can and stuff, and they're just going to keep the relationship going. And then after a while, John's term ends, and he was planning on leaving, but 9/11 happened, so he had to re-enlist. So this time they write letters to each other, and a bunch of the movie is them writing letters, and they don't really get to see each other that often, but when they do, they're like the same as they were. And then John keeps re-enlisting, and Savannah's letters stop coming, and then eventually she sends him a letter saying that she's engaged to someone else, and it's not going to work between them. So then John just throws himself into a career of being in the Army, and then his dad passes away, so he has to go home, and him and Savannah meet. He goes to see Savannah after the funeral, and then they have one last dinner together, and they talk about who she married, and they're not going to tell you that because you're going to have to watch the movie. But a good storyline would be nothing without the actors bringing it to life, and I think the acting in this movie is really good. John, as I said, the main characters are John and Savannah, and John is played by Channing Tatum, and you're used to seeing him as kind of in light roles, and John's kind of a tougher character. He's a soldier, and he's kind of a tough guy, and I think Channing Tatum does a really good job of this. And Savannah is a kind-hearted person, and she is always helping people, and she volunteers all the time, and I think Amanda Seyfried does a really good job of this. And then the supporting characters in the movie, they do a really good job. John's father he has OCD, and he's got some other mental issues going on there, and the actor who plays him is Richard Jenkins, and Richard Jenkins does a really good job of playing a mentally disabled person. And there's Tim, who's Savannah's best friend, and he's kind of like her father figure, and he's played by Henry Thomas, and Henry Thomas does a really good job of being like a father figure. Another thing that makes the movie good is the setting, and the setting in Dear John I think it was really good. The movie is set in South Carolina, and the places where they chose to shoot the movie, they're beautiful and stuff, and they're really pretty. Like, I want to go there. But there's a ton of beach scenes and stuff, and the scenes that are supposed to be inside houses, they don't look like sets. Like, they look like really believable. And then when John's away in the war, they have scenes of him at war, and the places that those are shot, those are really good too. Like, I don't think they went to Iraq and shot scenes, but it looks like they did. So overall, the movie was really good. The storyline is intriguing. The acting is very good. The characters all have really good chemistry with each other, and they just work together. And the setting was really good. So now you're probably all wondering who Savannah left John for and what John thinks about it, but I'm not going to tell you. You're going to have to watch the movie to find out.